Hey, how is everybody? I'm so excited to finally be doing a process video. It has literally been 3 years since I have recorded a process video. And this is my first ever voiceover. So I guess we're just going to jump right into it. I am using the Crate Paper Fresh Bouquet line. I think this is the first time that I have really used this collection. So you'll see me kind of get the I don't know, I get that paralyzed feeling whenever I have too many things to choose from and end up not choosing them. So there, I was just flipping through the 12x12 papers, and here I'm trying to bring in some of my older stash to kind of keep it fresh. So I pick out some 6x8 papers from two different collections, Wild Heart and La La Love. And that's just something I like to do. It keeps me using my old stash, especially those things like those paper pads in particular. I think that's pretty much the only thing that I have from those collections. So otherwise it would kind of, go unused. And so I'm now looking through the Fresh Bouquet 6x8, and I find that blue paper that I'm absolutely obsessed with. And here I'm just kind of trying to decide the order that I want my layers to go in, the colors. And I start out matting it with this pink heart paper, which was my favorite in that whole 6x8 paper pad. I absolutely love that one. And I was so proud of myself because I actually used the whole 6x8 paper. You're going to see me do it with that black and white stripe one, but I tend to just mat my photo and then I leave that L-shaped piece, and it just sets in my scraps forever until I decide to trash it or, something random with it. But I actually used that whole pink paper, and I was excited about that. And then I decided that blue paper was too pretty to just mat the photo with. So I'm trying to figure out a way to use the whole piece of paper as well. And so I guess this was a big win for me, using two full 6x8 paper pieces instead of them going into my scrap bin. And then now I'm going through the embellishments. And like I said, I think I just kind of get overwhelmed the first couple times that I'm using a collection because there are so many pieces. I tend to buy full collections. So, and in this one, I actually bought multiple embellishment packs because I plan on using this for my actual maternity photo shoot. And I know that I can get a little embellishment heavy, which of course this isn't an example of that, but I took that little cut apart with the old-fashioned camera on it, and I turned it into an actual tag by cutting off the corners. And then now I'm going through the smaller embellishments and seeing if there's anything that sticks out to me that I really like. And I pick out a few pieces there and set them to the side. And then I think that bottom piece, I think it says "Remember This." And then I'm looking at the chipboard sheet, and I find this little piece that says "Life is in Bloom." And I thought both of those were very relevant and very cute. So here I'm going to start gluing things down before I get too far along. I'm really bad about that, about sticking or about placing everything down on a layout. And then I go back and look and I'm like, oh no, nothing's glued down. How am I going to do this? So I'm trying to get myself out of that habit. And, once I decide the base pages, to just go ahead and start gluing. I'm always envious of scrappers that glue everything as they go. I'm like, oh, that seems like such the easier way to go. But I'm too indecisive for all that mess. So here I'm just cutting that tag in half so I can kind of bring some of that down to the right-hand corner. And I'm trying to figure out where I want that "Life is in Bloom" piece. It doesn't end up staying there. I'm gonna move it. You'll see that in just a minute. But here I'm adding some twine to my tags, which is something I've never done before. On my little hiatus, I ended up finding Shadney on YouTube just maybe a month or two ago, and I have been loving her process videos. And she's almost changed the way that I scrap. Not to sound dramatic or anything, but I just absolutely love, her adding twine to tags and her sprinkly bits and things like that. So now when I'm crafting, I find myself using far more sprinkly bits than I used to. I used to be let's just, put some Heidi shine on it and call it a day, maybe a couple enamel dots. And now I'm always like, okay, what small pieces can I find? What can I get on the page? What can I, add to it? So I'm really enjoying that. So if you are not familiar with Shadney, which I'm sure you all are, make sure you check her out here on YouTube. And then here are some punch tabs that I have just in my stash. When I feel like doing something crafty, but I don't feel like creating, I'll go through my scrap bin and I'll start, cutting things with my silhouette or cutting things with my punches, etc., etc. And so that's what I'm doing here, is just trying to get those to actual use and not just cluttering things up. Here I'm picking out some ephemera pieces and some chipboard pieces that actually, if I'm not mistaken, are from Crate Paper's Craft Market line, which was the very first scrapbooking collection that I ever discovered. And so by the time that I started scrapbooking with collections, there was just a few things left in the shop that I was in. I think I got the chipboard sheet and the embellishments, and that was it. So that's how long those have been in my stash, for probably 7 years now at least. So I was really excited to be able to get those onto a page. Yeah, that's crazy to think about how long those have been sitting there, just collecting dust on my desk in those little trays. So here I am finding more sprinkly bits to put on the page with some punched hearts, like I said, that I just, go through my scraps, which was another idea that I had gotten from Shadney. I guess I need to give her all the credit for this layout. She was just kind of going through some scrap stuff and deciding what she wanted to toss and what she wanted to keep. And then the patterns that she really loved, she was punching hearts out with it. And I'm like, oh, that's genius. Like, I can use those. And then the Nouveau glue, that's a newer glue to me. Before I was using, I think, like the quick dry adhesive that everybody was using for a long time. But I'm really enjoying the Nouveau glue. I think that's definitely my preference now, for sure. Before, when I was getting away from the quick dry glue, I was using glossy accents for a little while, but I'm not really a fan of the glossiness of glossy accents. So with the Nouveau glue, I really like that I can glue down ephemera and acetate, things like that, and not really get the wrinkles, the shininess, the stuff that I tend to find with other liquid glues. Nouveau has definitely been my favorite, so I'll be sticking with that one for a while. Here I am going through my sticker collection, which is also just a hodgepodge of older collections, older Maggie Helm stuff, and finding some word phrases that'll work. And here I think that's from the Flourish line. And then this right here, it's leaving me. I cannot remember. Maybe Bloom. Maggie Helm's Bloom collection. That washi book is the only thing I have left of that collection. So I'll be excited whenever I get that all used up. So excited to start putting those pieces down on a page. And I'm a sit-down scrapbooker, so every now and then I'll pick up the page to see what it's looking like at, I guess, eye level. And then here I'm just picking out some enamel dots, figuring out what works, what colors go with it, without being overkill. And I think these right here are just some like matte jewel gems that I got from Joann. And the rest of the enamel dots, I think I got from AliExpress maybe. I got like a big pack of 12 of them for, I don't know, like $9 or $10 shipped. It was a crazy good deal. I had to jump on it. And now I find myself like wanting to go back. I'm kind of in that weird space where I can't figure out if I want to stick with enamel dots or if I want to jump completely to Nouveau glue. Or Nouveau drops. I really, really, really love Nouveau drops. I have a lot of those as well. So I'm kind of back and forth. I guess you could have both, but in my brain, I keep telling myself that I don't need both. Like, just get whatever collection that you want. I'm really leaning towards the Nouveau. because I like that you can make them any size that you want, as opposed to just being stuck with, you know, most of the time there's 3 shapes and enamel dots. So I like the flexibility of the Nuvo. So it looks like we are all done here. I was just giving you a little preview. I'm going to put some Mr. Huey's and some Heidi Shine on this. I wanted to go with the gold Heidi Shine, but my husband didn't happen to be anywhere near me at the time, and I could not open the bottle on my own. So I was stuck with the ones that I was with. So here is a little snapshot of the end of the layout. And thank you all for sticking with me for this long if you're still here. And I hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving. Bye.